Jocelyn, setting dates is not against Scripture. It's all Scripture setting dates.
Okay, so you just heard what he said. No, the rapture date setting is not against Scripture. It's all Scripture. Well, I got a little news for you. People say that the rapture, the timing of the rapture, or people say that the chapter and verse of Matthew 24, verse 36, of that time no man know the day nor hour, not the Son or the angels, but the Father only. People are saying that refers to the second coming of Jesus Christ. That's the second coming of Jesus. Well, I got news for you guys who believe that. It says in Scripture when the second coming is. It tells us the timing of the second coming. So we know when the second coming of Jesus Christ is, when it happens. I'm going to get there in a second. But not the rapture. We don't know when the rapture is going to happen. It could happen in a blink of an eye. Nobody knows and nobody will know, because it doesn't say anywhere in the Bible that we are going to know when the rapture happens until it happens. So, but the second coming of Jesus Christ is another story. We do know when the second coming of Jesus Christ is. That is not a mystery when it is. You know how he comes in like a thief in the night? That's the rapture. I'm going to go there right now. That's my screen recording app. All right, so it says right here, this is the second coming of Jesus, and it gives perfect detail of when that is. So Matthew 24, verse 36 is not talking about the second, or the rapture, the second coming. It's talking about the rapture. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall be the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. That is the second coming of Jesus Christ. We know when the second coming of Jesus Christ is. It's immediately after the tribulation. Immediately after the tribulation. It gives you plain, clear evidence, Scripture right there, when the second coming of Jesus Christ is. Matthew 24, verse 36 is talking about the rapture. It is not talking about the second coming of Jesus Christ. A lot of people think that because they want to argue and try to make themselves right when they're wrong, that they know when the rapture is going to happen, or the date setting, is part of Scripture, even though it clearly states no man know the day or hour of his return, or the rapture, not even the Father. Not even the Son, but only the Father. So, when people are guessing dates of the rapture, they're being very blasphemous and claiming to know more than God himself. To know more than even the Son of God, which is Jesus Christ. So, that is extremely blasphemous. Only God knows when the rapture will happen. So, people are claiming to be God when they're setting dates. And obviously, every single date that anybody has ever set for the rapture has come to fail. 100% has failed, and it's going to keep failing because nobody knows when it will happen. Now, if they say a date and it really does happen that day that they say, no rhyme intended, then guess what? It's not because they knew it was going to happen that day. It's because God had it happen that day from the very beginning of time. They just got lucky, I guess you could say, or a coincidence that they just chose that day, and it actually happens. Not that they didn't know, because they didn't know. So I hope this brings some light on people and some truth, because Matthew 24, verse 36 is definitely talking about the rapture, because we clearly know when the second coming of Jesus will happen. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light. So in the sky, the sun will be dark, and the moon will not give her light. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory.